Hi, SD here, welcoming you to the first Joomla Pizza Bugs and Fun of 2026, our first 48-hour, 2-day Pizza Bugs and Fun. Joining me in this video are Phil, Herman, and Olivier, your guides to participating in PBF. As you know, the goal of Pizza Bugs and Fun is to gather together as a community to improve Joomla through testing, bug squashing, and having fun. This event would not be possible if it were not for our generous sponsors. The 2026 sponsors include Joomla Geek, Security Check Extensions, and Joomla. Our server sponsor is Rockin'. We thank each and every one of you for supporting the Joomla project. Big thanks to the individuals who work behind the scenes to bring this event to life, to the local organizers, the room assistants, and the online moderators from around the world who are helping to make this 48-hour event available to everyone who wants to participate, no matter where they are. Last but certainly not least, we thank all of you who are joining us and participating in PBF. Now, to connect to our team and other participants, join us in the OR PBF Mattermost channel with any questions. We'd appreciate your help in spreading the Joomla love on social media with hashtag PBF26. That's hashtag PBF26 with your comments, your pictures, and shout-outs of your support. Of course, check out our website, pizza-bugs.fun.com, for additional information. With that bit of housekeeping done, let's talk a little bit about what you'll find in this video. The topics we will cover include how to create a Mattermost account, how to write Joomla documentation, big hint here, it's an article, how to create a GitHub account, how to configure the patch tester, how to test a patch, and the most important one of all, how to get reimbursed for that yummy pizza and non-alcoholic beverage that you're enjoying while making Joomla better. So with that, let's get started. Up next, Phil will explain how to create a Mattermost account and join us in the OR PBF Mattermost channel.
Thank you, SD. And now I'm going to talk you through signing up to Mattermost. There's an article in the Joomla community magazine called Getting the Most Out of Mattermost. And this will tell you everything you need to know about signing up to Mattermost. You can register on the Identity portal at identity.joomla.org. Once you've registered, you can check through your profile. The important thing to make sure is that you have given consent for Mattermost. Here are the important parts. And here are the consents. And here you can see I've given my consent for Mattermost. It tells me when I agreed it, when it expires, and how long I've got left. And it's important that you renew your consent before the expiry date. Once you have given that consent, head over to joom.la/chat. And there you'll see Mattermost. Once you're at Mattermost, you can find the Pizza Bug and Fun channel simply by typing PBF into the Find channel. And once you've searched there, you'll be able to chat with others who are joining in Pizza Bugs and Fun. And here are all those important URLs again.
Welcome to the documentation part of the Pizza Bugs and Fun. Our documentation used to be in the wiki in docs.joomla.org, but we moved with the developer's manual to manual.joomla.org and with the user guide to guide.joomla.org. If you want to contribute to the guide, go there, go to the Contributors tab and log in. With the login button, you will be redirected to the identity portal, just like in Mattermost, and then you If you didn't have an account yet, you will get a new account uh, on the user guide, but you're only a registered user then. So now you have to have author rights. And in order to do that, you go to Mattermost to the documentation suggestions channel and ask for author rights. During the PBF, we will have a Google Meet open a lot of time, so you can directly ask for assistance there and to ask someone to give you author rights. But it's also very handy to do that before the PBF, and then you go to the documentation suggestions channel and ask for author rights, and you're all settled when the PBF starts. The user guide, you will find all the current user guide articles, and you won't find any translations. We will do that later this year, but if you need some translations, we have translations in 9 languages in jdocmanual.org. We have several we have a whole list of subjects that we want to have tutorials from. During the PBF, you can find that list of subjects on the spreadsheet of the PBF. So go there and look there at the list, and you will find more information there. We have that same list also. We will also publish that under the Jobs to Do tab in the documentation, and there those issues that we want to document better are also issues on our documentation GitHub repo, and there you will find per item more info what we want to have. So for instance, this is a tutorial that we want to have, and that tutorial has some knowledge that you have to have before you do that tutorial. We have some concepts that we want to convey in this tutorial, and some steps that has to be done in order to do this, to learn about those concepts. So that is the thing that you have to write then. So we focus in this PBF on tutorials about content management, and after we have finished that whole series of content management tutorials, we will start a series about site building tutorials, and then a series about site maintenance tutorials. But now first, content management tutorials. We have made a whole build up from things that have to be uh, that of tutorials that have a logical build up from one follows from the other. So what tutorials do you have to have done first? So what concepts do you have to know in order to do a certain tutorial? So I sometimes named tutorials here, but you have also other kinds of documentation. But now for this PBF, we will only do tutorials and only about content management. So if you want to know more about that, you can find it under the contributors tab in the tutorial menu item. You'll find more information about diatexes and tutorials, etc. Do that before the PBF, then you are all settled and you can go with the flow during the PBF. So you go to the PBF spreadsheet, you find your item that you want to work on, put your name behind that subject. So we all know that you are working on it. Nobody else will then work on that subject. I will choose something else. Log in the user guide, and you will find a menu item, draft articles. Go to draft articles. you will find a new article button. You click that and you can just type in your article. Is that a difficult system? No, it is just Joomla. So you have a front-end editing system in Joomla where you type your title, you type your article text, etc. If you want to have some remarks about the article that you have just written, uh, um, and you or maybe you have some questions about it, or some doubts, or some remarks about your tutorial that you just made, or maybe something that is not finished yet, or whatever you want, put them in the notes on the contribution tab. Don't forget to save your article. That's very important. Better safe than sorry. And so better save it sometimes, not wait for 2 hours until you are out of electricity and the whole thing is maybe gone. No, save in between. If you are totally ready, you can go on the publishing tab to the submit the article for review transition, but that's a bit hidden. Don't worry too much about it. Just first write your article and save it, and it will be all right. And I bet that after that, the pizza will taste very well. So thank you very much for your contributions to the user guide, and hope to see you during the pizza, bugs, and fun. Ciao.
Now I'm going to talk you through setting up a GitHub account. Head over to github.com. There you can sign up for a new account. You'll need to use a valid email address to sign up for your new account. Then create a password, and once you've saved your password, you will need to verify your email address, and then you can sign in. Once you have signed into GitHub, you can search for the Joomla repository. And here you can see the Joomla repository and all of the code that makes up Joomla. And now over to Olivier, who's going to talk about patch testing.
Thank you, Phil. Before I dive into the details, I would like to point out that the idea behind testing patches is to get 2 successful tests from 2 different people on a single patch. A patch is a piece of code, or pull request, that has been created to correct an issue in Joomla. We have prepared a style sheet where I recorded most patches that need to be tested. Once you decide on a patch you want to test, put your name next to the patch, so no more than 2 people test it. There are several ways you can test patches. You can install an instance of Joomla on your local server. It is simple. Just get the latest nightly at GitHub and install a patch tester component. You can use one of our pre-installations ready for you to use. Once you have claimed an instance, the first thing you should do is change the password so that nobody else can use it but you. You can use the site launch.joomla.org and create your own Joomla 5 instance. Once in the console, install the patch tester component. Once in your Joomla instance, you first need to set up the patch tester extension. I would also suggest you increase the session lifetime, set debug to yes, and error reporting to maximum to catch potential issues. In some cases, depending on the patch you are testing, you may be required to install additional languages or sample data. To set up the patch tester, go to Global Configuration, Joomla Patch Tester. In order to get the patches, you need a GitHub token. Click on Create a Personal Access Token. This takes you directly to GitHub to create the token. It's pre-filled for you. Just go to Generate Token. This will give you a token available for you to use in your console. Make a copy of it, because once you leave GitHub, that token will be gone. Go back to your console, put the number 7 close. Now you are ready to fetch data. Once the patches are available in the console, go back to the style sheet where you put your name in and copy the patch ID. Go back to the console, put the ID in the search field. First, you need to make sure you can reproduce the issue the patch is supposed to fix. To learn more about the issue, select View on GitHub. It will take you to GitHub, where you can learn about the issue. Go back to your console and try and reproduce the behavior. If you cannot reproduce the behavior, please make a note in the style sheet. On the other hand, if you can reproduce the issue, click on Apply Patch. Follow the instructions for testing the patch in the GitHub pull request. And make sure the issue has been fixed with the patch applied. Your test being successful or not, please record your results in the style sheet next to your name. Go back to the console and select View on Joomla Issue Tracker. In there, click on Test This and report your results. If your test was unsuccessful, please provide as much information as you can. Submit test results. Then go back to the console and revert the patch. Now you're ready to process a different one.
Thank you, Olivier. And now, how to get a refund. To qualify, you will need to fill in a reimbursement form. This can be found on opensourcematters.org/reimbursement. Once there, you can find all the details needed for the form to be filled in. We will also need you to send us images of your gathering as proof so that we can share them on social media. Remember, only pizza and non-alcoholic drinks count. And now back to SD for a few closing words.
Got all that? Hey, it's SD again. Thanks for sticking around to the end. We hope that you found the tips useful. Once again, we want to take a quick moment to thank today's sponsors: Joomla Geek, Security Check Extensions, Joomla, and our server sponsor, Rockin'. Don't forget to help us out by joining us on the ORPBF Mattermost channel, spreading some Joomla love on social media with hashtag PBF26, and most of all, having fun. We cannot thank you enough for participating today. So I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you. Hope you have fun. Enjoy pizza. Be loud and proud of Joomla.